Hello, how are you today? Let's tune in and tap in and turn on and get today's messages. See what Spirit has for us today. Yes, yes, let's do it. Let's tap on. Yes, yay, woohoo and whoa. Okay. Okay, let's settle down and get a card to start us off today. Where are we, right? Where are we? What are we doing? How are we feeling? What are we thinking about? What should we be thinking about? What could we be thinking about? And why? Where? How? Who? When? Let's see. Beautiful. Growing older and inner beauty. Beautiful. Look at that balance too. It's like your external and your internal, right? Your external, you're always growing older every day, every minute, right? But it is about the inner beauty. A 21 and a 38. Yeah, we all have our things about growing older, right? We tend to focus on the wrong things. The external, when it's the internal that counts. Like really. And your internal starts to present on the external. I don't know. What was that? Oh, there's a streak of the moon. Then it's just ran across. Okay, Arcturians. We're talking about inner beauty and growing older. Liberate yourself from the confines that you impose upon yourself based on your age or looks. It's an illusion. Okay. Beautiful. Beautiful. That's right, because we are spirit. And our physical vessel is just a container in the earth field to house our spirit. And it holds a lot of densities from being in the earth world, from suppression, from genetic inheritance of traumas and wounds, of densities, right? And then we've got intention, which is beautiful because when we set clear intentions and are more intentional with our inner spaces, then the external has less weight. We start to see through the illusion, through the surface, into the eyes, into the soul, into the spirit. And that's gorgeous, right? And that's gorgeous. Okay. Let's see what the runes want to say about that. I'll add to that. A laguz. Okay, like water, go with the flow. Something like that. Where are ya? Yalaguza. Flow, memory, dreams, the unconscious, fate, and karma. Floating in the great waters, this tiny seahorse feels the currents, ebbs, and flows in this great universal ocean of life. And in her softly shifting dream state, she knows the unity of all things, of all life, and the connection that flows through past, present, and future. In her world, water is everywhere, pervading all things, the living energy source of everything. She is a symbol of the unconscious, of invisible life forces, the dream state, and hidden aspects of the self. Laguz is a powerful rune in the way water is powerful, fluid, and ever-changing. It calls you to release the struggle and go with the flow. Spend time in meditation and allow your deep intuitive state to speak to and guide you. Laguz reminds you that on life's journey, not all can be controlled, and change is the only constant. Without change, life becomes stagnant. And if you think about the difference between a fresh, clear, running river water and a stagnant pool, right? Full of frog eggs and mosquitoes. Mosquito larvae. Okay, let's see. Let's see what's coming up for us on all that. Don't overthink it. Okay, this is the attempts to control. These are the trying to turn back time. Okay, looking at all the old pictures of how we used to be. Those are versions of self that are no longer. It's about looking past, right? Oh, we said about that. The illusion. So liberate yourself from the one dimension that may not be representing in a way you think it should, and instead show gratitude for it. This is your container in this lifetime, and be grateful. Be grateful. Okay. Celebrate. Ooh. Something's happening behind the scenes involved with your balance, with your gorgeousness, okay? And your overflowing luck. There's so many things happening on so many different levels. Don't get caught up and fixated on a surface, right? Yes. Because we've got gorgeous things overflowing into your cup, into other cups. This is like your internal sunshine overflowing, and it just starts to shine out of your face like liquid sunshine. Okay, and the Four of Wands, stability, celebration, balance, honor, fruition, gorgeousness. And the things that are happening beneath the surface, behind the scenes, right? Within. That is what you are meant to focus on. That is what. Oh, hi, buddy. 1 second. Hi. And we're back. Where were we? Where were we? What were we doing? Try not to overthink things to death and trust in what we can't see. Trust what we know, the work that we've done on the inside. Trust the self-reflecting, the capacity to go within. This is where the beauty really lies, right? In your heart, in your compassion, in your capacity to celebrate self, right? To honor, to appreciate, to bless. They wanted to come out. Yeah, there's a lot of unknowns here with this moon, right? Yet to be revealed, but it's something to do with your ships coming in and soul tribe people who are drawn to you, okay? There's stuff happening beneath the surface. So trust it, okay? Trust the process. Let's do this. Let's do it this way. Yes, because you are flowing. You're like this crab flowing, right? With lagoos, the water, the ebbing and the flowing, and the change, right? As you are flowing, the environment you're seeing, everything that you see is different. This is part of our external world. And just think about it. If we get more of what we focus on, and every time you look in the mirror, you are telling your vessel one thing or another, right? What are you telling your vessel, right? Okay, we got the Wheel of Fortune popping out over here, wanting to turn in your favor. Spontaneous luck, okay? Spontaneous blooms, spontaneous revelations, a sudden shift in things that create a fortunate incident, circumstance, environment. Okay, we've got your steady focus on moving yourself out and away from anything that is contrary to this, to love, to peace, to inner states of gorgeousness. We must take passionate action anytime we're looking in the mirror and we catch ourselves speaking negatively, thinking negatively towards our projection. We are reinforcing. Look beyond the reflection. That's the facade. That's the surface. That's the ever moving waters. So don't fixate on it. Don't try to hold it in place. This causes distortion. This takes you outside instead of in where the magic is. Be intentional and start loving your body. Give it the rest and restoration that it needs. Listen to it. It speaks to you daily, and you speak to it daily, right? It wants you to shine. It wants you to be authentic. It wants you to acknowledge the strength that you have within. There's so much in there, the compassion, the heart, the courage, the strength, the endurance, the caring, the sharing, all of these things. That's what's beautiful. Our society is meant to pull us away from self, to keep us out in the cold. And so cosmetics, advertisements, movies, all this stuff is geared to make you focus on one dimension instead of all the dimensions. But you're getting privy to that. You are taking action upon it. Oh, and learning how to find your balance, okay, between your masculine and your feminine. That's the kind of stuff we need to focus on, right? And as we shift, as we empower, as we enlighten, as we tend our inner, the outside starts to shift and reflect. It's a process. Remember, the physical world is the slowest moving, slowest responding. Just like something blooming and growing. It takes time, right? It starts to come out and it looks like it's not living its best life or living up to its best potential. We change its environment, what we feed it, how we nurture it, how we speak to it. And then it starts to adjust in kind to that and shine, right? Yes, right. Okay. I think this is an archetype kind of situation. And also something about beauty is in the eye of the beholder, right? You can look at somebody and think that they're the most beautiful thing that you've ever seen. And they're at home looking at them, their reflection, being like, not thinking that, right? And so, the grass isn't always greener on the other side. This is the illusion, right, that we can get caught up in. This is about liberating yourself from those restraints. Beauty is truly your soul shining out of your physical vessel. It's got nothing to do with the surface. The surface shifts as your internal does. Okay, we got 2 coming out for us. And the first one is number 46. Where are we? 46. The womb. Your internal. The nest, the belly, the origin. Everything has an origin story. The womb archetype asks us to contemplate the beginning beyond the beginning, the mother beyond the mother. In a world that often negates the power and necessity of feminine principles, this card returns us to the warmth, tenderness, and sacred intelligence from which we came. It is a card of receiving, not achieving, of accepting love from the mother of us all. She is the life-giving force that forgives and cherishes even the most wounded and desperate soul. No matter how lost you are, the womb awaits your return to help you heal and grow. This card is a call to keep things simple, to return, to be reborn in the name of love. The womb is everywhere. It is beyond gender, beyond time. We are within it, as it is within us. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Okay. Yes, the womb. The internal spaces. Go in there. Seek comfort. This is very womby in the inner spaces, right? When light, nourishment, harmony, warmth, and love. When dark, stricken ecological crisis, infertility, and imbalance. Consider that Mother Earth must also have a mother. Imagine her. Whoa. Maybe not right now. Okay. What? We got the maiden, the virgin, the princess, the innocent. Okay. The maiden archetype is the epitome of innocent arousal, naive sensuality, and precarious purity. She is compelling and addictive. Because of her flawless and youthful glow, she is the first archetype in the trifecta of maiden, mother, and crone, and rightfully so. Isn't that interesting? Because she has oh so much to learn. The maiden is perfectly positioned for trouble to come her way and subject her to a challenge that leads to the next phase of womanhood. She must grow up, yet hesitates at the threshold, enamored by the charms of youth. The maiden represents the side of us that is riveted and curious, drawn to shadowy forests, dark nights, and taking just one taste of poisonous fruit. Her magic is edgy and includes both shame and delight. Let yourself fall down the rabbit hole, young one. When in light, curious, enchanting, sensual, full of vitality. When dark, pretends, projects, denies, and fantasizes. Moving from the maiden to the mother is challenging, often leaving unresolved tensions between the two archetypes for years, if not a lifetime. Yes, there's that connection, the growing older, the moving, the phases, the leaving, the old versions of self behind and evolving, right? This ever-changing fluidness of the water of lagoos. This is a pitfall that we all fall in through the stages of trying to step back. It's like trying to grab that bit of the river that has flown past, right? Let it go. Otherwise, we're in resistance. Otherwise, we're holding dense energies. Otherwise, we are fighting against the flow, the current. Go back in and access. You have the maiden, the mother, and the crone within you. And so you have access to those versions of self. And it has nothing to do with your surface, right? Remember, the physical world is the last to respond. Work on the internal. See through the external. And you're golden. And you're golden. And nurture, cherish, honor, and play with all the other aspects within, right? Okay, let's get one more. Perhaps we get a wild one card here. There it is. Peace. Beautiful. Yes. Finding the peace within. Finding the peace within. Okay, I just opened up on flow as well. Okay, so we all belong to one another. And when we have forgotten that, we don't have peace. Peace is something we have when we remember that we are all one, that we belong to each other, that we are one another. The irony is that when we forget that, we lose ourselves. Peace is the divine creation in all her glory, the earth in all her presence, you in all you are. Let the wild tame your survival heart. When we know this oneness, we no longer suffer in the same way. It is impossible to spiral into the power that takes you away from that. Instead, it takes you to a place of deep wisdom inside the center of the universe. And that is the true place to be powered from. Beautiful. When you experience pain and sadness, it is because you have separated yourself from this knowing. Separateness causes pain. This is the wonder of being the wild woman you were born to be. As this wonderful feeling system we have, this alert system can signal to us one of the most important messages we can ever receive from the sacred wisdom of the divine. It can signal our way to peace. It can allow us to re-enter into the knowing that we are one. It can help us to find our way back to the truth that we are one. We are sacred. When in pain, you are only a realization away from that. So exercise compassion with yourself and others, especially in these times. Make the movement. Be a spiritual activist. Exercise your right for peace within yourself and the world. Beautiful. Yes, when you're fixated on an external, you are not at peace within. Yay! Look at all my roses. There's so many. Yay! The butterfly loves it. Right? Gorgeous. Is it white? Looks like a white tiger. Fast. Anyways, look at this. It's massive. Okay. Okay. Wait. Okay, let's look at these cards here. Should we do some charms? Okay, let's see. We've got the release. Yes, you've done a lot of releasing in your life, a lot of stripping away, and we are still in various stages of doing that, right? This liberation of self, this removal of anything that is blocking our star shine, our internal sun, right? We release this, and then we need to take the necessary recovery and recuperation stage period afterwards. Okay, we've got twin flame butterfly. So this is beautiful. This is speaking to me about your balance between the masculine and the feminine, your being and your doingness. And you're gorgeous. And you're gorgeous. And then we've got the water buffalo, another grounded, balanced, masculine, feminine, energetic, holding, firm, and steady, and stable, and sturdy in your gorgeousness. Okay, we got abundance flower here, the kind that continues to bloom. When you hold your focus and take passionate action in a balanced state, abundance is for you. Abundance is for you. Okay, we got the yin and the yang, which is gorgeous. There's your balance within yourself. Get there, go there. This is also the water symbol, flowing, right? Gorgeousness. We also have this intention, the fire symbol, so more balancing everywhere. And the Pegasi, okay? The gorgeous combination of eagle eye perspective and on the ground horsepower action, right? This is your eagle, your connection to your internal knowing, your intuition, and your horsepower, your passionate action that you take forwards. There's so much more to focus on than external. The other thing with growing older is the wisdom that you gain, right? When you are in your crone stage, you have access to your maiden, your mother, and your crone within. That empowers you. That's the true power of the Hecate symbology, the three phases, and your wisdom and access to all three, right? We can still be in crone stage and frolic and play like a maiden, right? Yes. So rediscover who you are within and recognize that you're gorgeous and all else is an illusion that eventually will change. So flow with it and ride it and find joy and be gorgeous on the inside. Okay, love and appreciate you. Hope to see you next time. Bye for now.